I have not the words to sum that up, everyone. That is one of the best motor races I've ever seen. My goodness, they're 6 wide for the lead. This is unbelievable. Checkered flag, I think it's going to go out this time up towards the line. It's going to be Paul Goldstein, is it? Haynes pulls out, they're going to finish side by side. Well, I think that was a dead heat. I think that was a dead heat over the line. Well, it was very wet for yesterday's Sigma 150 race indeed. It was Will Stillwell who took the victory. He's the black car with the yellow roll cage starting on row 3, but it's the all-gold car of Paul Goldstein, who is really the hot property in Caterham racing at the moment. He was the Caterham 270R champion last year, as well as the Sigma 135 champion in the Graduates, going for the Sigma 150 title this year. Starts alongside Harry Kramer, who dropped back down the order in the wet yesterday. He's usually strong in the dry here at Donington. Second row, Max Haynes, an accomplished sim racer as well as a Caterham racer. He's in the black car, and alongside him is the number 30 of Stuart Bell, the black and white car with the red cage. Row 3, the red and blue car, ex-superkart racer number 3, Stephen Clark. And there's Will Stillwell with the yellow roll cage alongside him. Row 4 is James McCall in the turquoise car alongside the turquoise and white car, the Dutchman Vodka liveried car of Stephen Lancaster. Green flag is displayed at the back of the field. This will be a 25-minute race for the P4 Emergency Lighting Caterham Graduates Racing Club Sigma 150s. The red lights go out now, and away they go. Decent getaway by Max Haynes.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
From the outside of the front row, not a great start for Paul Goldstein, and Haynes will pull across behind Harry Kramer to try and snatch the lead into Redgate for the first time, and he's done so. Max Haynes into the lead around Redgate for the first time ahead of Harry Kramer. Goldstein is in third place. Will Stillwell trying to cut his way through into fourth position. Let's move Stuart Bell out wide very slightly there as they make their way down the Craner curves for the first time. It's Max Haynes who leads the way in car number 99. He's from London. He's in the trophy category. We explained earlier, the trophy category is for those on a limited season. You nominate 3 meetings during the season to score points at. Harry Kramer in second place. He is a championship registered driver, as is Paul Goldstein. Behind them, Will Stillwell as a trophy category driver. He won the trophy in the Sigma 150 category last year in the DPR Motorsport car. Up to fifth is Stephen Clark. He's in the full championship this year. They're already starting to do the snake down the straight to try and break the toe to the car behind them. Goldstein going from the inside on Harry Kramer, straight past up the inside, very late on the brakes there into the chicane from Paul Goldstein. He's fired up, he's probably angry at himself for making a poor start. Chasing Max Haynes as they come through to complete the opening lap. They're all line astern behind. Going for the inside is Will Stillwell on Harry Kramer, trying to take third place away, and he's done it into Redgate. All happening at the front of the field early on in this one. Clark is fifth. It's James McCall in sixth place. Stuart Bell seventh. The number 149 of Stephen Lancaster's dropped back a few places, but he had a couple of scary incidents in yesterday's race. He went down the grass at the Craner curves and to cross the circuit was left to receive a T-bone. He collect somebody else on his way past. Thankfully, drier conditions today, we shouldn't see a repeat of that. Up towards McLean's corner they go. These the more powerful of the Caterhams, as the name suggests, 150 brake horsepower, based on the Caterham 270R and 310R body shapes. 162 and 100 together. That's David Reed and Bren Maud. Some tipping Bren Maud as a potential championship contender this year. It's struggling qualifying this weekend, so he's got to race his way through. Here comes Goldstein around the outside of Max Haynes, and he's got him. Superb from Paul Goldstein. He's driving brilliantly in that all-gold number 150 car. Looking heading for the gold medal in this race for his first win of the season. Max Haynes is fighting back, he now draws ahead. Battle is joined here and Will Stillwell's going with them. Oh, we're in for a good race here. They're almost 3 wide into the first corner at Redgate. Harry Kramer keeping a watching brief in the red car from 4th position. Then it's Clark and McCall. Those 6 have broken away slightly. Then it's Bell and Lopez Appleton 7th and 8th behind them. Reed and Maud rounding out the top 10. Down the Craner curves towards the old hairpin. Max Haynes holds the lead in the number 99 car. Then Lopez Appleton and Stuart Bell. They're guest drivers, so they won't score points in this race. Just warming up for the Caterham Motorsport factory supported season ahead, I think, in these cars. Up towards the right-hander at McLean's. Running out a little wide there, Paul Goldstein. Up the inside goes Will Stillwell as a result of that, and he's taken 2nd place. Goldstein went wide there coming out of McLean's, and now Harry Kramer is level with him as well. Down towards the chicane once again, he's Goldstein going to fight back. This is where he's been stronger so far in this second race of the weekend. Look at James McCall up the inside. He's going to try and take 2 places in one move. He's got past Harry Kramer. Harry Kramer just hasn't got the pace this weekend. We saw him drop back down the order in the wet race yesterday, and McCall has got ahead of Stephen Clark as well. He's up to 4. Now who's this? Trying to dive through up the inside. That's Ben Lopez Appleton, I think. Harry Kramer's dropping like a stone. Stuart Bell on his tail next. Also coming through the purple and green car, James Sibbett, number 175. He had a strong showing yesterday as well. Down the Craner curves they come once again. They're squealing these Toyo tyres as they make their way to the bottom of the circuit. He is still with Max Haynes here. Will Stillwell have broken away very slightly. Stillwell's got the fastest lap so far, 118.189. It's Goldstein, Paul, Clark, Lopez Appleton, then it's Harry Kramer. Towards the right-hander and Cox. 5 minutes gone, 20 to go in this longest race of the weekend here at Donington. Will Stillwell getting ready to make a move for the lead. He's down the inside into the Roberts chicane. He's through. Gets the move done more before they reach the chicane. Now Max Haynes will get into the slipstream and try and get back ahead with the drier circuit this time. This is Caterham racing at its best. Here comes Haynes. Side by side down into Redgate. Can he go round the outside? Will Stillwell. Stillwell led at the line. Still side by side. Stillwell holds the advantage on the inside. Here's the second group coming through. There's Rob Warner, the championship sponsor in the orange and blue number 7. With the likes of Steve Lancaster. Strawberry's in there as well, Andrew Whitton, the number 112 car. Also in there, number 13, Miles Clarkson. He's come through towards the back of the grid. Leaders heading up towards McLean's once again. Max Haynes from Stillwell. Goldstein trying to close up as well. Ran wide through Coppice a couple of laps ago. He's going to have to drop him down to 3rd. We know he's strong on the brakes on the run into the chicane. We've already seen that. Start to snake around down the exhibition straight up towards the chicane, and going for the outside is Will Stillwell. Will he get the move done on the slipstream before the chicane? He's way before the chicane. He's back in front. That's allowed Goldstein to tow up as well, and James McCall in the number 50 car. Over the line they go. Stillwell leads. Here comes Haynes going for the outside again, and now Goldstein's going to try and get a tow off the 99 as well. Max Haynes, I think he's going to take the lead here around the outside. He does it. Here comes Paul Goldstein as well. Then it's McCall, then a small gap back to Stephen Clark. Those 5 have broken away from Lopez Appleton and Kramer. Battle's going on further back in the pack. Rob Warner's lost out to Miles Clarkson, who's coming through strongly from towards the back of the grid. Very busy indeed in there in the midfield. Leaders up towards McLean's once again, still a long way to go. Max Haynes loses out to Will Stillwell, who dives up the inside going through the right-hander up towards Coppice. Stillwell moving to defend in the 118 car, looking for his double this weekend. Paul Goldstein makes a tighter line that time through. Now Haynes is going to try and go to the outside here, I would think, on the run down and get the move done before the chicane. We've seen this in the last couple of laps. Going to do it again. Or is he? Or is he? No. Late on the brakes is still. Well, late on the brakes is Goldstein. He's side by side with McCall, who's up there. They touch. Something flew off. That was Paul Goldstein's rear wing that went flying. And Stephen Clark says, thank you very much. I'll go through in the third place. Battle is joined at the front of the field in this final race of the weekend for the P4 emergency lighting. Caterham Graduates Racing Club. Stillwell retakes the lead into Redgate. McCall side by side with Clark. Now, let's hope that Goldstein's car isn't damaged beyond losing that wing in that bit of contact as they fight for third place, these three. Down towards the old hairpin. Steve Clark's going to have a go for the inside here. No, he's not. The next three, Ben Lopez Appleton, Harry Kramer, and who's this coming through? That's James Sibbett, number 175. He's past Kramer. I think Kramer's having some handling issues. He's starting to drop back. He's got Stuart Bell on his tail now as well. Behind them in the order is Brent Moore in 10th place. The hill. Towards the right-hander at Coppice. What's Max Haynes going to do this time to try and get past Will Stillwell? Now, Stillwell's wise to him. You can see he's gone to the outside line to stop any slipstreaming move on that side of things, but that's allowing Goldstein to tow up as well. What's going to happen into Redgate this time? The drivers, I think, loving this as much as everyone looking on. Haynes to the outside, to the inside. He sells the dummy to Will Stillwell. He's up the inside, retakes the lead. I've already lost count of the number of times these two have swapped the lead. Goldstein and McCall looking on, then it's Clark. McCall's done the fastest lap of the race, 1:17.968, side by side, down the Craner curves for the lead. Will Stillwell to the inside as they head towards the old hairpin. Is he going to get through this time? Yes, he is. Will Stillwell retakes the lead. This is terrific stuff. Goldstein now up to third. They're still side by side, the two leaders, nothing between. Kramer trying to retake Stuart Bell further back in the order.
You can't park there, sir.
And a car in the gravel, that's number 181, that's Ed Benton in the Alpha 7 car, the man from Norfolk. Marshals have recovered him. Here come the leaders, lapping one of the back markers there, as here they come onto straight down towards the chicane, and Max Haynes goes for the inside, retakes the lead as they lunge into the Robert chicane once again. This is Caterham racing at its very, very best here at Donington Park. This circuit lends itself to good slipstreaming action like this. Here come the leaders down to Redgate once again. Stillwell and Haynes swapping places for fun. And all the time it's allowing Goldstein to try and close back up, and is he close enough to attack this time? James McCall just looking on, waiting for his chance behind them. It's a 16-wheeled Caterham out in front, and Goldstein a little bit sideways there through the Craner curves. Stillwell hangs on to the lead. It's going to be 7 of them line astern very shortly. It's Lopez Appleton and James Sibbett are towing up behind Steve Clark as well. Here's a battle further back in the order. Every place is being squabbled over. This is right at the back of the field. The 101 car heading this group, that's John Evans.
Nice.
Guest drivers, the 105. Behind him is Jonathan Alpine. Never mind that, we go back to the lead battle, which is heading out towards the exhibition straight once again. Max Haynes goes to the inside, Stillwell goes to the outside. Paul Goldstein's going to try and go up the inside of both of them. Look at this, they're going to be 3 wide into the chicane. Can Goldstein take the lead? Side by side, Will Stillwell's on the lock stops through there. They almost bounce off each other. Goldstein runs over his own wing for a few laps ago, and he's done it! Oh my goodness, they're 6 wide for the lead. This is unbelievable! 6 wide out of the chicane, you can't do that! Who's going to emerge with the lead here? It's Max Haynes has somehow re-emerged in the lead. I don't know how they managed that. This is the best race of the weekend so far. Goldstein led briefly. Who was leading as they crossed the line? It was still Max Haynes. McCall's stuck in the middle. You can't go 3 wide down the Craners, surely. Stephen Clark was going to try it there. Stillwell's been shuffled back to about 5th place. He won't stay there long, though. somehow they all managed to turn through the old hairpin together. Stephen Clark sprints around the outside of Goldstein, who's down to fourth. Up to second is James McCall, and all that's allowed Max Haynes to escape by 3 car lengths out in front. So as I draw breath, the lead battle heads up towards McLean's. Running out wide there, Will Still. Well, he's got James Sibbett on his tail now. McCall trying to slipstream Steve Clark. I dread to think what's going to happen into the chicane this time around. Well, Max Haynes has got his head down and been able to get away slightly, and surely catch him up here though, unless he can completely break that toe. Here they come, down to the chicane. McCall to the inside of Clark. Goldstein lurking behind after an incredible move last time through, which is what made them go 6 wide. He stays fourth, McCall up into second place. Over the line they come once again. Will Stillwell trying to fight back. He's now behind James Sibbett. Harry Kramer's just about hanging on to this group as well, and Stuart Belt, 8 of them together, no, 9 of them together for the lead of the race. Hollywood down to the Kramers. Stephen Clark under fire from James McCall. All this is allowing Max Haynes to break away a little. Through the old hairpin they go, things calming down very slightly. Max Haynes is 6th yesterday. He got a penalty for an out of position start. He got a 10-second penalty, so he wants to make up for that here, and he's doing so. Everybody else trying to be second. Goldstein, then Will Stillwell has made his way back up into 5th position. James Sibbett is 6th. Ben Lopez Appleton in 7th, the guest driver. They come doing the rattlesnake down the straight towards the chicane. Goldstein has to think about a move on the inside. McCall has to think about a move, but Stephen Clark is there. There's still 10.5 minutes of this to go. Coming up on the back marker here as well, which I think is the 101 of John Evans. Side by side between Goldstein and Stillwell, that's the 4th place. James Sibbett tries to close up. Lopez Appleton closing in, having Harry Kramer and Stuart Bell hanging onto the tail of this train. James Sibbett going for the inside on Goldstein at the old hairpin. He slides it down the inside, he's through. Good bit of driving there by James Sibbett, the Herefordshire driver. In now by Stephen Clark. He's decided to try and have a go for the lead. There's a back marker ahead of them. He's Stephen Clark going to get the slipstream here, the former supercar champion. Side by side the third between Stillwell and McCall. Hard to know where to look as they come into the chicane. This time Stillwell on the inside has taken McCall. He's up to third. Clark didn't manage to get the lead away from Max Haynes. James Sibbett going superbly up there in 5th position. The back marker just about gets out of the way there. This is Clark's opportunity to take the lead for the first time, trying to get round the outside, and there's contact. McCall has hit the side of Stillwell. Now, has that damaged his suspension? I think he's okay. Side by side with Sibbett now. That loss of momentum is going to bottle everybody else up behind him and allow these two to escape. It's still Haynes ahead of Clark. Everybody else trying for third. That was a scary moment. I thought James McCall's car was going to be flung up into the air there as they clipped wheels. He clipped wheels with, I think it was Will Stillwell. Yep, it seems to be okay. Car's escaped without major damage. He's still going. 8.5 minutes to go. Towards McLean's for the 13th time. Goldstein to the inside now. He nearly clips the back of James McCall. It's getting a bit fraught in this dice for the podium places. Stillwell's escaped slightly ahead of them, and that's you can see it's that minor collision has broken things apart very slightly. It's allowed the first two to escape, and Clark's in the lead. Clark's got ahead of Max Haynes, but Max Haynes will go back around the outside, retakes it into the chicane. Place you don't want to be leading here at Donington is going into the chicane on the last lap, and Stillwell and McCall both run wide there. A bit of bodywork flies off Stillwell's car. What happened there? Did they touch or did they just slide wide? I'm not sure. Ben Lopez-Appleton, meanwhile, has got ahead of Goldstein and Civic, so they've had a moment somewhere. Harry Kramer's caught up to them as well in the 1-2-1. Stuart Bell at the back of this group. And 2.5 seconds clear of the 10th place car of Brent Ward. Ben Lopez-Appleton moving into the mix. Potential podium now as well if he can catch up to the 4 ahead of him. There go the 2 leaders. Split into pairs now, those top 4. Still Max Haynes leads the way from Stephen Clark. Will Stillwell in 3rd place. Ben McCall in 4th. It's Haynes who leads the trophy registered cars, and Clark is top of the full championship runs. Slade starting to form up, and Goldstein on the grass down to the exhibition straight. This could be 3 wide into the chicane. He's having a go at Ben Lopez-Appleton up the inside, and he takes him. James Sibbett was having a go there as well. This is a fantastic race, certainly the best we've had this weekend. Clark had a go as they came. Clark actually led over the line that time through, but Haynes has got him back into Redgate. Stillwell 3rd and McCall 4th. They're closing back up. Then the second group is headed by Goldstein, ahead of Lopez-Appleton. A sideways Civic being pushed there by Harry Kramer. Stuart Bell behind him. So they've split into 2 groups now, the leaders. And everybody else is in the peloton, if you like, further behind. Whatever the car racing equivalent to a peloton is. James Civic again sideways down the inside. Takes Ben Lopez-Appleton. There go the leaders. There's the second. Still Max Haynes sets the pace. He's led the majority of this race. Will Stillwell, meanwhile, has got through into 2nd place. I said that Stillwell and McCall were getting back onto the tail of Stephen Clark. Well, Stillwell has split the 2 leaders. It's now 4 for the lead again. Will Stillwell wants his double win. He's up on Max Haynes. Both rivals, these 2 as well. Clark and McCall are both full championship runners, so there's a lot at stake here. Over the line they go. Back marker in the way there as well as Stillwell swings to the inside, nearly at the back of Max Haynes. But he takes the lead going into Redgates. He outbraked himself there as he runs 2 wide. Haynes back up the inside. They're going to be side by side into the trainer curves. James McCall's got through into 3rd. Clark goes down to 4th. It's the number 37 car that'll be lapping Graham Ewings in just a moment. Goldstein's hanging on to their tail as well. It's going to be 5 again for the lead shortly. Somebody off. I think that's the back marker that's gone wide there. I've heard of moving out of the way for the leaders, but that was taken to extremes then by Graham Ewings. He went out into the grass and Schwartz curve. Here comes Steve Clark. Trying to retake 3rd place from James McCall as they go into Coppice. It's Stillwell versus Haynes for the lead. Down the exhibition straight. Haynes will go to the inside this time. He's going to go through surely and take up the lead. Go through. Civic is in 6th place. This is the battle for 7th now. Kramer side by side with Ben Lopez-Appleton who goes through on the chicane. Stuart Bell in the car with the red cage is in behind them. So Haynes has got the lead back again. Will Stillwell going to try this time. He's going to go to the outside. Retakes the lead. Stephen Clark briefly lost out to Goldstein there, but he's back up the inside through Redgates. They both got sideways there, and they're bounced off each other. Can't keep up with this. This is brilliant. There's only 3.5 minutes to go now. The wings coming loose on Will Stillwell's car. Will that affect his handling? I shouldn't think so. But he has gone a little bit wide there out of the old hairpin. Max Haynes in the old black car moves up alongside him. Who's going to come out here with the lead? Another back marker ahead of them. Up to McLean's they come. Rob Appleton, I think, will be the next man to be lapped. Haynes just has the lead on the inside, and here comes James McCall. It's all about timing your finishing move right, getting in the right position to attack for the lead into the last corner and slipstreaming your way through. Here's James McCall going to be the man to time it right. Look out, Rob Appleton, they're coming up to lap you. Still well to the inside on the chicane. He's going to go through and retake the lead. And here comes McCall up the inside, side by side through the chicane with Haynes, who will force him to go wide. He has to lift off there, James McCall. He's got to keep the momentum up and keep in the slipstream. They've got to move out wide to lap Rob Appleton. I don't think he's seen them all there behind him. He does now. They'll get round him. Haynes back up the inside. Look at Goldstein attacking. He's got through into 4th place past Stephen Clark, and he's attacking McCall to try and move back into P3. So close, swapping places so often. It's more like a greyhound race than a motor race, this is. It's amazing stuff. Will Stillwell leads them down into the hairpin. They slide them went through on the edge of adhesion. There's Brent Board, he's closing up as well. He's only down in 10th place. See how close the top 10 are. They're much clear of everybody else. Warner next to 11th place, a long way behind. Stillwell back up the inside, retakes Max Haynes yet again. They swap places on just about every corner in the last few laps. But Goldstein's not finished yet either, and McCall's down to 5th because Clark has got through. Who's going to time it right? 90 seconds on the clock. This is going to be last lap, I think, this time through. Off the outside is Max Haynes. Down towards the chicane. There's a big lock up there from somebody, and that was Stillwell. He's gone straight on. Will Stillwell over the gravel. That's lost him his chance. There goes chance of a double for Will Stillwell, and it's Max Haynes from Goldstein. Side by side between Clark and McCall for 3rd place. Side by side between Lopez Appleton and James Sibbets further behind them. Well, who's timed it right then? Is it going to be Paul Goldstein? Can he salvage his first win of the season? Can he get past Max Haynes? Or has Haynes done enough? Goldstein's going for it. These two have pulled slightly clear of Stephen Clark now. The real winner here is going to be motorsport itself. This has been one of the best races I've seen in a long time. Up towards McLean's. Haynes, can he hold it? He doesn't want to be leading going into the chicane because they'll all try and slipstream him. Has Paul Goldstein timed this right? There's 20 seconds left on the clock. I think they're going to get the checkered flag this time. Can Clark get into range? I think it might be just between those two out in front now. Goldstein, he doesn't want to strike early. He's got to time it here. Up the outside into the chicane. He's going to move across. He moves across. Haynes is going to try and double back into the chicane. Absolutely on the limit there through the chicane. Is Goldstein going to do it? Checkered flag, I think he's going to go out this time up towards the line. It's going to be Paul Goldstein. Is it? Haynes pulls out. They're going to finish side by side. Well, I think that was a dead heat. I think that was a dead heat over the line. We'll go to the timing screen. The timing screen gives it to Max Haynes by 8 thousandths of a second. That is unbelievable. How did Max Haynes get Paul Goldstein back out of the chicane? I didn't think that was possible. We'll wait and see if the timing screen corrects itself. I don't think even they know who's won it. Right, the timing screen does sometimes correct itself, and it does. It now goes to Goldstein by 6 thousandths of a second. Well, I think both of them deserve a joint win there, if that was possible to do. So Goldstein, provisionally the winner by 6 thousandths of a second over Max Haynes. That's 0.006 of a second. Stephen Clark was 3rd. McCall 4th. Lopez Appleton 5th. Then Sibbett 6th. Will Stillwell 7th. Harry Kramer 8th. Stuart Bell 9th. Bren Moore 10th. Well, there it is confirmed. To 2 decimal places, they're equal. 6 thousandths of a second. Initially, the timing screen showed Max Haynes as the winner. I was waiting to see if it would correct itself. I have not the words to sum that up, everyone. That is one of the best motor races I've ever seen.